So with this video, we're going to look at different probability scenarios and solve a proportion using the probability that we're given. So I've drawn, and not a very good one, but I've drawn a little spinner here. And remember, if this wasn't drawn by hand, it'd be drawn where everything was perfect. So you'd have all the different pieces to the spinner being the same size and same shape, so everything would be fair. And so for this scenario, let's say that we're trying to find the probability of of spinning a 6. So we're going to spin that spinner and try to land on a 6. So you see, typical what we've done in some other videos here, trying to find our basic probability. 8 possible choices, that's my denominator. And you see we only have 1 6 down, so it'd be 1/8 for the probability of getting a 6. So now, based on that probability, let's say that we spin the spinner 40 times. So basically what we're trying to find here is if you were to spin the spinner 40 times, about how many times do you think the 6 would show up? So that's what we're trying to find here. So that now the probability, the 6 would show up if we're spinning 40 times. What you can do in that scenario is take our probability, which is 1/8. That's the probability we would see the 6 show up on this spinner, and use 40 as our denominator. So basically we're saying 1 out of every 8 spins should be a 6. So how many spins out of 40 will end up being a 6? So you can solve this proportion here. You can go ahead and do cross multiplication, or I'll just do my shortcut. I'll say 8 times 5 is 40. So therefore 1 times 5 will give you an answer of 5. So if you did it 40 times, you should see the 6 show up about 5 times. Let's look at another one like this using the same spinner. Let's say that we're trying to find the probability of getting a number greater than 3 when we spin the spinner. So in this scenario here, the denominator does not change. We still have 8 choices. And we've got to go back and see how many numbers we have that are greater than 3. So we can choose the 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 and be happy. So that was 5 choices. So when you spin this spinner, you should see a number greater than 3 show up about 5 out of 8 times. Let's change it up this time and spin, let's not do 4, let's do 80. So 80 times. So now let's see the probability we will get a number greater than 3 if we were to go back in and spin 80. So 80 times. Alright, so using our same probability, so we said every 5 out of 8 rolls should show up a number greater than 3. So use that probability. So if every 5 out of 8 rolls is a number greater than 3, how many rolls out of 80, I keep saying rolls, sorry, out of spins, how many spins out of 80 should end up showing a number greater than 3? So over here I can do my shortcut again, do my times 10, times 10. So this time I've got 50 for my answer. So basically 50 out of 80 rolls should show up as a number greater than 3. Now, let's let you see how you do on one. Let's use that same spinner again. Let's say, okay, for you, let's go probability of getting a number greater than 6. So first things first, take a second and find out that probability. So pause the video and get that probability. Okay, you should have had 8 as your denominator. And you want a number greater than 6, you can choose a 7 or the 8 and be happy. So that was 2 choices out of 8. So you could actually keep this as 2 8s, or you could reduce it down to 1/4. Either way, it gives you the probability of spinning the spinner and landing on a number that is greater than 6. So now I want you to take that probability, and let's say, we'll use the same amount of spins over here. So let's say you spin 80 times. So spin 80 times. So now I want you to go back in and tell me what will be the probability you would see a number greater than 6 if you're spinning 80 times. Alright, so take a second and see if you can figure out how many times a number greater than 6 should show up if you spin 80 times. So pause the video and work it out at this point. Okay, so you had your probability of 2 8s. Now from here, if you're doing 80 times, every 2 out of 8 spins should be a number greater than 6. So you have the 80 down here for 80 spins. You could do the times 10 again, times 10. So you should have gotten an answer of 20. So it's just a little example of some problems here that you could use when it has to do with probability and proportions. All right, see you.